distance it brings? Are you feeling it too, or is it just me? So I try to rewind to the place and the time. You just undeafened, didn't you?
Yep, we heard that.
How the You're a dick. You're a dick.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Thin Crust Flopcast. That's getting clipped.
I hate my singer so much when I hear it back. It's gonna come up on TikTok.
But yes, welcome on in, everybody. I am your host, the Chaos of Dragons. Joining me, as you just heard, the singing controversial cat made herself. It's Damo.
Hello.
I hope you're all having a very wonderful start to the week. This episode of the Flopcast went live and was recorded on the 2nd of June 2025. And oh boy, is it gonna be a week for gaming.
Yes, and my cat is currently in front, laying in front of my other screen, and I can't see half the article I have up.
Oh boy, it is gonna be
I'm sitting on the wire of my mouse.
It is gonna be a massive week for gaming. We've got various things happening on, like the Xbox game show. We've got a variety of game shows. We have Nintendo Switch 2 coming out. We've got Summer Game Fest, like Death Stranding 2 premiere also happening as well. Like, wow, what a week we got coming up, folks. So we may have a bit to talk about on the next Flopcast. So, holy shit. But of course, it's not like there's not been anything happening over the past couple of weeks. We have obviously gathered variety of info.
Yes. Can you leave the other... Oh, wait! If you're gonna lay there, you can be nice. Yeah, exactly.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we do occasionally talk about, try to talk about video games and the stuff going on and surrounding them, as well as also dealing with our own variety of animalistic bullshit.
Saber, don't let the intrusive thoughts win, bro.
You talking to the cat or yourself?
I know a little bit to myself, yeah.
But as always, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we are going to start off with. That's what we start off with every time. Damo!
Yeah.
The fuck y'all been playing the past couple weeks?
Oh, what have I been playing? Let's see. Let's go to my desktop. Let's minimize the window for a second. I've been playing some Baldur's Gate 3. I actually played about all of 2 minutes of that in full, by the way. Actually, it's kind of funny, actually. A bit of a funny story on how I ended up playing that for about a couple minutes yesterday. Because obviously I hadn't been on my computer literally all weekend.
Yeah.
Apart from obviously, evening yesterday. I did not realise... Doesn't mean you look at the fucking mouse cursor, you dumbass. I did not realise that my audio settings had been reset, so even though, I could hear, say, the TV show I was watching and, stuff like that, I did not hear Chiv's Inventor come in. And they had been in the VC for about half an hour at that point, just as I basically started playing Apple. But we ended up playing, me and Inventor ended up playing Baldur's Gate 3 instead and made some more progress.
Well done, you.
So, thank you. Obviously some Star Rail as well. I've been getting on that every day, and luckily I have it on my phone, so I can still do my dailies on my phone. I actually got into a game that I initially saw on TikTok called V Rising. It was I think it's still on sale, but on CD Keys it's a lot cheaper than the actual sale itself, so I can't complain. It's all right. I don't.
Cheaper.
Yeah, no. It's all right. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it yet.
Probably got your mum cheaper. Oh. Sorry, I had to.
Been obviously playing some Repo as well. We did play for the King 2 on Thursday. That was probably the shortest run we've ever had.
Yeah, you guys kind of rage quit
We
on
got
that one.
fucked. Yeah, we got fucked over so bad that you're not, nah, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen you guys rage quit.
Nah, same. Like, we've raged at a lot of games, but we've never really quit them.
Yeah, like that was kind of funny. It's like, because I was also live at the time, folks, and I was keeping an eye on things, and then I saw that, and I was like, huh?
Like, hang on. Like, the only other game I have full-on rage quit, which was back in the PS4 days, and that was Dark Souls 3, I think it was.
Yeah, that's understandable. It's Dark Souls.
Yeah. But then the dead person that was meant to be my mate, like, was like, oh, you know, I'll set you up with a character that's going to help you breeze through it. And I rage quit within 10 minutes because I kept dying every 30 seconds, if that.
Well, to be fair, that type of game isn't really your thing, so.
Yeah, I know.
As proven with our run on Elden Ring.
Hey, you gotta give me some form of leeway for that, though. I did get about, what, like, at that time, before they started introducing new things, like...
Yeah, through bullshit.
The majority of the fucking teleportation waypoints.
Yeah,
like,
through bullshit.
I been able to get. Even the ones that I shouldn't have been able to get, because one of the bosses that I had to do, I didn't know I had to do, because I managed to, like, avoid that entire area, wasn't it? Prior to that, getting all the fucking teleport points. It was so good.
Yeah, again, through bullshit.
I actually think that's been about it. Obviously, apart from my normal mobile games that I play like every morning. To be honest. So yeah, there's that. Oh no, actually no, there is one. Expedition 33. Because we made some progress on a stream on that one.
Yeah.
On Tuesday. So yeah, actually, I think that is literally about it now. So Chaos, what have you been up to?
I've been up to a lot. As many of you are aware, not last Saturday, but the Saturday previous, I did my 12-hour stream with a variety of games, including Dead by Daylight, Stellar Blade, and Mario Party, with a little bit of Marvel Rivals thrown in. We've obviously also been on the Coromon train. Obviously, I was doing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for a variety of reasons. Astral Chain, Fire Emblem Three Houses. I've also been updating Armored Core because they're still updating that game and making balances as well. So it's like, hey yo.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that.
Yeah, which surprised the shit out of me. It's like, oh, I might have to jump back on there then. I'm not gonna pull what some people have tried and try and platinum that game. Fuck that. Have to S rank every fucking mission. Some of those missions are bollocks hard. So it's like, yeah, nah, screw that.
That is honestly fair though.
Like, screw that shit. Especially one particular boss fight that took me about 4 or 5 hours to do. And bear in mind, at that point, I'd actually somehow stumbled across the actual meta build.
Nice.
Without looking up anything. I'm still impressed the fact I pulled that shit off. Oh man. Fucking hell. Obviously there's been Star Rail as well. Been building up I've been building up my resources so then I can try and pull for Saber when the fake collab happens on there next month.
Yes, and just to clarify, just because I'm a cheeky bitch, not my cat Saber, actual character called Saber in Honkai.
Yes. Because we're getting
and it's ironic.
Because we're getting Archer Emiya and Saber Artoria. To those who aren't aware, Blue Saber, not Red Saber. If it was Red Saber, I'd be much happier. And no, I'm not talking about Mordred, I'm talking about Nero. But yeah, Christ. There's been quite a bit I've done Also been playing Nikkei as well. I got the new new character, so it's like yay.
Nice.
I need to level up. I need to level up my team and make them stronger because I'm now at a point in the story where I can't take out the enemy. The power level is actually too high. And I have this every time, like, I'll reach a certain point where it's like, alright, I'm going to have to do everything fucking else. I gotta find very specific gear to do. It's like, oh, Jesus. Obviously, we've been doing Pokemon Pocket, and I say we because I know for a fact Damon and I have been on there.
Yep.
Pulling on the new pack, and I'm only about 14 cards away from getting all the cards on this new pack.
Nice.
So,
I don't know how many I'm away. How do you know that?
I mean, the pack has literally got 69 cards in.
How'd you find out though?
Whenever you pull literally whenever I pull cards from the pack and I get a new one, they'll add it and you'll see the amount of cards that are listed.
Yeah, I mean, like, how do you know how many you've got left?
Because I calculated, because it's showing.
Right, thank you for the information.
Because I worked it out. Because I can do math.
Yeah, the one skill I don't have.
Lordy fucking lord.
I know.
Alright, give me a set. I'll try and find it.
I'm listening to my mate's band.
Yeah, I just did another temple. I just did another pack.
Nice. Actually, oh, I think I can find out. Hang on. Extra dimensional crisis. No. Cool.
There's a multiverse demo.
Yes. Wait, did it not do it? Hang on. Wait, bitch, give me the booster pack. The cards that I got. Thank you. Okay, so it doesn't tell me. I think I've got 135
But yeah,
cards.
while Damo's trying to find that. So, with that being said though, folks, that's really all of our usual stuff that we can actually talk about. So, time to get into the info that we have. Time to get into the news, as they say.
Yeah, Daddy. Stuff that crust.
I'm leaving. Good night. So, as many of you who are who may be following my socials may be aware, they actually finally gave us a release date for Pokemon Legends ZA. And while also at the same time then giving us information on the next Pokemon Presents, which will be on July 22nd. So far, when they showcase the info, the only thing that we're aware of so far are currently all the megas. The only megas that we're aware of are only the ones from the 6th generation. Now, they have actually stated that if you get, well, obviously because with the Switch 2 coming out soon, there is going to be a free graphical update for Scarlet and Violet. How much of an actual difference that it will make, I don't know. I'm hoping it'll actually do something good for the game, because it kind of needs it.
Oh yeah.
As someone who's been a long time player of Scarlet and Violet. I'm hoping that this is actually hopefully going to be the start, because obviously I will be getting Scarlet Violet. I will be getting Legends ZA on the regular Switch, because unless I get fucking lucky with winning the lottery, there ain't gonna be a chance in hell I'll be getting a Switch 2 anytime soon. But I will say, one of the things that was stated is on the Switch 2 edition of Legend Z8, it will offer higher frame rates and graphical fidelity compared to the original Switch. The gameplay of both versions will remain the same. Well, obviously. If you have a physical or digital copy of Legend Z8, you can later upgrade to the Switch 2 version via an upgrade pack on the eStore. Whether that's a payable upgrade pack or not, I don't know. But knowing them, it'll probably be a payable upgrade pack. But again, we will see. I will say though, the fact that we finally have a release date for it does make me very happy. The only thing now we're missing is a release date for the next Digimon game. Come on, guys! Give us the fucking new Digimon game. Give us that release date. Me and Kane are fucking biting at the ankles, these bastards. When they did a Digimon a video / stream where it was hang out with Terriermon, even the person doing Terriermon was basically said, when's the release date? And they kind of danced around it a little bit, didn't say anything. So hopefully that means that the next time they do one of those updates where they showcase gameplay and stuff, they will actually get a release date.
Nice.
I'm hoping.
We should do it these soon.
I fucking want it. Alright, so I've got a bit of a list of the Mega Evolutions that we've seen so far.
Tell everybody.
Charizard, Ampharos, Lucario, Gardevoir, Altaria, Gyarados, Kangaskhan, Absol, and Sableye, all revealed as users scroll through the site. There was artwork obviously shown in regards of it, so I imagine if they're doing basically all of the ones from Gen 6, meaning that the ones from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which means that your favourite will also be getting a Mega Evolution demo. Gengar.
Yay! I'm feeling Gengar. Evolution.
I think I saw someone say yes, Mega Evolution Gengar, where you can come through the floor, kind of like Gigantamax Gengar, where some people apparently, this is what I've been seeing, some people called the Gigantamax Gengar Vormy Daddy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I just like the shape and the colour and
You
the
see the
fact,
site-
the lore
you see-
about like Gengar, Ghastly, and Haunter.
Have you seen?
That's literally it.
Have you seen Gigantamax Gengar?
Yes.
That motherfucker's just literally a mouth.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't need anyone calling my precious Gengar daddy, for first of all.
Gengi.
It's okay, baby. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go so high pitched. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Tell yourself I'm a PC tower now. I love you too. Aw, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Alright, demo?
Yes. So, I'm gonna just do the screenshot ones first. So, take this one literally with a pinch of salt. I genuinely did forget to look into it, so I apologize in advance. However, this is came across on my Facebook feed, recommended to me to follow even as well by Covered Geekly, because they only put basically a picture and a caption. They didn't actually put the link in the comments, which is very sad. Well, anyway, at that point, which was, need to find it. Love the fact I cannot be so much as like to a point of some form of organized, not disorganized. I'm always that.
Hey, the fact that you're not as organised as you'd like to be.
Yeah, pretty much. What? Because I sent a screenshot and what? Anyway, it was some point like within the last 2 weeks, that I can promise you. Anyway, it says Netflix is said to have been in talks to acquire the rights to a live-action Baldur's Gate 3 series not too long ago, and there still hasn't been much noise surrounding the reports. Now fans are speculating whether or not the streamer will be announcing the project this weekend at Tudum. Don't know what that means at the last bit. I'm not gonna
In
lie.
tandem.
At Tudum, Tudum, or Tudum.
Dum.
I don't know. Is it a festival? Is it a festival? Who knows? But I will say this, okay? As much as we would love our graciously, beautifully talented Neil Newborn to, reprise the role, but live action, I don't think we're going to get that, which is very sad because I would love to have seen that. However, if it does go ahead, just like a lot of Netflix live action adaptations, take it with a grain of salt. Do not judge it too harshly within the first 5 minutes, as much as it's going to pain you not to do that, considering some of the others Death Note have been ruined by Netflix. Don't even. Now, the only reason why I specifically said Death Note, Chaos, I think you know this story. You know the story about my ex watching the live action adaptation.
Can we not go into
for the
that,
anime?
please? Can we not?
Yeah.
The fact that you said about Death Note, we just need to leave that at that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard this story too many fucking times, folks.
Yeah. So if there is going to be one, looking forward to it, but also gonna have to hold my tongue massively and try not to fucking hardcore judge Netflix, because I don't want them to fuck this up. Oh, Netflix, please don't fuck it up.
Hey, when it comes to look, there's a reason why I won't go watch movie adaptations of video games, is because most of the time they're absolutely fucking dog shit.
Yeah, the cinematic versions.
Like, they're usually so fucking dog shit. Obviously, there's a few exceptions, obviously, to the rule, and then there's a few that are basically make it so damn true. I'm looking at you, Borderlands movie. If you don't know what I mean, folks, go check out how well that film actually did.
I'll say this, though, talking about the Borderlands movie real quick. I haven't watched it, unfortunately. I have to put up with ads on my Amazon Prime. So, one trailer that's popped up a lot is the Borderlands movie. I'll say this, Claptrap looking fire, though.
Yeah, that's about as far as I good. Apparently, look-wise, actually wasn't too bad. But in everything else, it fucking failed dramatically.
Look-wise, looking from a glance from the trailer, yeah, definitely 100%. Like, the looks genuinely are okay.
They screwed the story tremendously to the point it made no fucking sense. That you can't even call it a Borderlands movie.
They didn't do the Mortal Kombat, did they?
I don't know, because apparently Mortal Kombat was actually not too bad from what I heard. But it's...
I'm talking about, like, the OG movie for Mortal Kombat.
The OG movies were so bad they were good.
My point.
No.
They were terrible. It was just cringe.
They were terrible and cringe, but they were still good at the same time. No. I would say it was just bad. And they had people play characters that shouldn't have been. Like, Tiny Tina, you'd expect would have been, like, say, a young girl.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, they had someone play her who was way older.
Oh, jeez.
They screwed the pooch royally on that one.
Bro.
To the point they barely made money back from only. They barely only made the money back to pay for PR.
Eesh.
Only, and the PR cost about 30 million.
Eesh.
And
that is
the money.
bad.
I think the film it cost like 250 mil to make, and yeah, that's not including PR, by the way.
I've said it once before, maybe not on the podcast, but I definitely have, like, off stream wise. if you're gonna do a movie adaptation or even a TV show adaptation, especially live action on video games,
Stick to the fucking source.
not just that, not just stick to the source, but listen to the people, not just the actors or the writer.
I'm gonna say this. Honestly, I don't.
Basi-
I'm gonna say this because they had Jack Black as Claptrap,
Yeah.
and I heard this. I know this is obviously offbeat of what we were talking about, but Kiwi did say this a while back, and I literally listed a couple of movies to prove him wrong. He said that Jack Black can save any movie.
No.
The last Kung Fu Panda movie, Borderlands. Yeah, there are some things that no matter how popular you are, you just can't save.
The way I see it is, and it's, you can say that really about anything, okay? Now, I can technically get away with talking about this because there is actually a game for Doctor Who, as well as obviously board games, but we're not going to touch that solely. But look at the writing they did for the most recent Doctor and a couple before, and I'm like, I mean, as in like the writing halfway through Peter Capaldi. Don't think that's his actual name, but you know what I mean, that Doctor.
Oh, that was
right?
it. Sorry to
The
interrupt.
writing was terrible.
Sorry to interrupt.
The actor was great, just terrible.
They had Jamie Lee Curtis be Tiny Tina.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis, but damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see why, though. And the reason why I say that, okay, hear me out. There is a show called Scream Queens, and she's in that. The vibe kind of matches a bit.
Vibe, again, no. I don't care
No, I mean,
I don't care how much the vibe. Literally, I'm gonna say this. I like Borderlands 1 and 2, 3. In regards of. I'm gonna say this. Tiny Tina was fucking hilarious when she made her appearance, and they did really good with her, obviously in the game. I'm sorry, but you have to I'm sorry, but Tiny Tina's meant to be a fucking insane genius child who has a thing for explosions. That's literally That's literally Tiny Tina.
Again, hear me out. Okay. Should they have kept to the lore and to the story and kept it true? 100,000%. Am I a big fan of Jamie Lee Curtis? Yes, I fucking am. However, what I mean by vibe is the way that she can do the crackhead, crazy fucking energy. Again, I've not seen the movie, so I don't really have a place to have a full-on opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, like Kiwi did with Jack Black, I'm not saying that's the exact same situation with Jamie Lee Curtis, because obviously that's not the case. However, what they could have done is have somebody else do the acting, but she just dubs it.
Sorry, got it wrong. She played Tannis.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's just sad.
Yeah. So yeah, now do you understand why I say that the movie
No,
was
I see
bad?
your point now. Yeah.
Now do you understand why I'm like, I've not seen the movie. I've seen trailers, and that was enough to put me off. And with how bad the movie did, my judgment was right to stay away from it.
Which is understandable.
Like, when it comes to movies, I'm usually pretty happy with my thoughts because it's just my own thoughts. One thing I would definitely regret ever watching, and that was the Dragon Ball Z live movie they did.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it was so bad.
But that's the thing, though. If you think back, I know we've brought this up a lot of times on the podcast in the past. But, look at the fact of how they tried butchering fucking Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Meow. Yeah, and what happens? The entire fan base went absolutely ham on them to get them to change the look. And it fucking worked. We've had 3 Sonic movies, and they've all apparently been really, really good. With the last one, obviously, apparently, from what I've been hearing, being the best.
Yeah.
But that's because you got the great combination of Shadow and Keanu Reeves, but...
We love Keanu Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the point. He's meant to be starred as something else as well. But also just to like let you know, like let you guys know, if you're a John Wick fan, there is a fourth one coming out.
Yeah, it's
Like a new one.
the ballerina, isn't it?
Ballerina. Yeah.
Because
So,
it's set in that,
I've
it's set in
only
that
seen
universe.
Yeah, I've only seen like the third one. So, like, out of the whole John Wick series, to be honest. And I just watched it for Keanu Reeves because it's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Shall we get back on track?
yeah, let's get back on track because I completely forgot what we were talking about.
Originally, it was Netflix adaptation of Baldur's Gate 3. And basically, we got onto the notion of staring at awful adaptations, i.e. Death Note, as well as...
But to be fair, it is kind of relevant, though, because no matter what kind of sort of thing it is, whether it's game-related, anime...
Yeah, no, again...
Book adapted, like, from a book to, you know,
again,
sort of thing.
it fits because... Yeah, again, it fits because it is still... It just continues to prove there are some stuff that... Well, there are some people that maybe just need to rethink the direction they're going in regards to some stuff.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
It's the same as video. It's the same as movie video games. It's like they don't always work.
Yeah.
Like the only exception was back on the GameCube, GoldenEye. That one just hit.
Yeah.
But anyway, on to our next topic. So, we've had a little bit of funny and we've had a little bit of stabbing at stuff. So, as you guys will are very aware, probably going to go on a bit of a rant here.
Oh boy.
As you guys are aware, I'm not entirely a fan of the Xbox Game Pass because for me, when you look at it, it just feels like a rental service. Because all you're doing is paying just to be able to have the game until they take it off their listing.
Yeah.
Which is exactly a rental service. Well, the legendary former head of Sony Entertainment, Shuhei Yoshida, worries about the impact on third-party studios and indies, especially because of how dangerous subscription services for video games can be. Speaking to a game developer, former head of Sony Interactive Entertainment Shuhei Yoshida has outlined his concern regarding video game subscription services like Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. Thank you. Especially their potential impact on third-party and indie developers alike. Well, that would be the case if the indie developers weren't actually doing so fucking good and actually making games that are 10 times better than some of the AAA shit that they put on the passes. Yoshida stated, "If the only way for people to play games is through subscriptions, that's really dangerous." Yep. Like exactly what we said when they said when the people from EA and Ubisoft and others have essentially said we need to get gamers need to get used to not owning their games. Exactly what we're talking about here, folks. Because what type of games can be created will be dictated by the owner of the subscription services. That's really, really risky because must always be fresh new ideas tried by small developers that create the next wave of development. But if the big companies dictate what games can be created, I don't think that will advance the industry. That's why that's what a good thing that we got the likes of Steam around. Yoshida, obviously a tad biased as a former senior member of Team Sony. You may be biased, but that whole thing of worrying about the whole subscription services in general is a good thing because we're losing more and more services in regards of these subscription services that they put on there to entice us to pay for it more. Yet they're taking more away in regards of it and then charging us more. So it's It is very worrying. It is very worrying how these big companies think that, oh, we're just going to stop the live service games, but then we're going to make our entire thing live service, where if you want to play these games or you want them, you're going to have to pay us every month.
Mm-hmm.
Would go on to say that PlayStation's approach was healthier than what you see on Xbox. This relates to Microsoft's initial pledge to offer AAA releases day one on Game Pass. I've always thought that was a little bit off, and I can see why he says that. Because it's like, yeah, it's all well and good actually paying for the AAA games on the Game Pass, but then what happens like after a bit of time when they fall into obscurity and you want to play them again? They've literally been taken off the pass. And the same is like with the PlayStation Premium. As like I didn't like when they did that. When they kept it simple.
Yeah.
When they kept it literally simple and just like simple PlayStation Plus, that's how you play online. You get like a few games free every month. That's it. I was happy with that because it's not overextending. It wasn't taking the piss, and it gave people a chance to get some games that they normally wouldn't have.
Yeah.
The only reason why the Xbox Game Pass actually works is because of the whole AAA game thing. However, at the same time, then that does kind of screw over some of the AAA game devs. Because think about it. So, say like what, it's like 17 quid a month for the Game
Think
Pass?
so? Oh, Xbox Game Pass?
Yeah.
No, that is...
Oh, they boosted
it
up to
was
20, didn't they?
40 No. Because mine goes through my phone. Give me a second. Manage... Because I've got the Xbox app up at the minute, so just give me a minute.
Alright, so it's $15 a month.
Yes, that's like $14.99 for us.
Yeah. So, obviously, to a lot of people, to then be able to play like brand new games day one, that's really good. But then think how much of that money then goes to the devs, to the studios that make the games. It kind of shortchanges them.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, it may seem I'm obviously biased in regards of it, but I've been kind of in regards to Microsoft for a while, but that's my own thing. Yoshida, so I'll continue back with the article. Yoshida continued, I believe the way Sony approached subscriptions was healthier, but you know.
I've just googled it.
Yeah.
According to the thing in the overview, it says developers receive payments from Xbox Game Pass through a variety of methods, including fixed lump sum payments, payments based on usage, and potentially other combinations. Microsoft has paid developers hundreds of millions in dollars in Game Pass fees.
Yeah, I
It's not... It obviously is, like, quite vague. But, like, at the same time, we can't always, like, go,
Yeah.
okay, what, hundreds of millions? Because that's obviously not always going to be the case.
Yeah. Like, look at the studios that are small, that have hit games. Do they get millions? Or do Xbox get lucky on that one?
Well, it says, like, here's some more detailed, a more detailed breakdown. Fix up some developers receive a one-time payment to add their game to Game Pass, regardless of how many people play it. Usage-based payments. Other developers might receive payments based on how many subscribers play their game or how long they play it.
Yeah.
Negotiated deals. The specific payment of structure often depends on negotiations between Microsoft and a developer. The factors like game reputation and quality influence in the terms. Incentives. Microsoft might offer incentives like full funding for development or promises to promote the game in exchange for inclusion in Game Pass. And just, yeah, potential revenue. It just says the hundreds of millions of dollars in Game Pass fees.
So, if anything, that's the short-term run of it. So, alright, back to the article. obviously with the Yoshida saying about PlayStation's initial was healthier. You know, not to overpromise and to allow people to spend money to buy the new games. After a couple of years, there won't be many people willing to buy those games at the initial price, so they'll be added to the subscription service, and there'll be more people to try those products in time for the next game in the franchise to come out. Speaking purely from my own personal perspective, this is still Yoshida, I do feel that the growth of video game subscription services like Game Pass and PS Plus has devalued big AAA when they come out. Especially as the prices of those games have increased significantly as of late. I can totally see how a regular consumer would just grab Game Pass and not buy any games full price, which adds merit to Yoshida's point, as this new group of non-buyers wouldn't be spending on both big AAA releases and third-party games outside of these services.
Okay.
So, essentially what that last little bit was basically, goes back to the whole physical games. Like, would you actually still buy physical copies? I myself would actually buy a physical copy still. Obviously, the digital release of games, obviously, because a lot of games when they're digital, if they get taken off the store, as long as you have already bought it, then you still have it in your library. I know this because PlayStation have taken off the Deadpool game God knows how many times. I think they've taken it off their store like 4 or 5 times.
Something like that.
And I still own it, and it's still a funny ass game.
I haven't played it in so long. It's been years. Literally.
It's so stupid and funny. I've got the Legend of Korra game that you can't get on there. That you've not been able to get on there in years. Like, I snagged that way back when. And it's like, it's opportunities like that. Like, if a game gets pulled off the online store, you won't see it ever again on a Game Pass subscription service or a PlayStation Plus service. You won't.
It depends, actually, I think, because there's been a few games I've noticed, this obviously back when I was on PlayStation. I did actually notice that some games did actually return quite a lot, the same as Game Pass, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, like, oh, because I'm biased because I have Game Pass, blah, blah, blah. No. However, for me personally, like, it's not great having to pay £15 a month, honestly, but at the same time, in my opinion, respectfully, is as much as I hate that fact, it's also a cheaper way for me to be able to play games that I do want to play. Like, does it suck when I do get taken off? Yes, of course it does. However, the other point that I do also want to make as well, all PC games, thank you very much, load that up. They still have games on there they've had on there for like ages. So, for example, where is it? The most funniest and best example I can give, that fucking Peppa Pig game is still on there.
Oh, have you? Is that the last Peppa Pig game they did?
Yeah.
Do you know what they have at the ending of that game?
No.
Because they meet the Queen in the game, and they have a Rest in Peace Queen.
Oh.
At the end of it, yeah. Because they were in the midst of making that game, and then it came out, and then she had literally just died.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. I remember seeing someone play that game and everyone was fucking dying when we got to that.
Oh no, I think it was the one before that, actually. You know, the one that I said I was gonna play?
Oh.
And then just didn't because
yeah.
I lost track of everything, yeah. But yeah, that one's still on there. Games like Zoo Tycoon, Ultimate Animal Collection, that's been on there for ages.
That's the thing though, it's like that's because like they've got some form of niche relevancy. That's the thing. But like, as I literally said, like Deadpool, you'd have thought that would still be around. Nope. Even though the movies are huge.
I think in its own way, because obviously the major controversies around that game specifically is why.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They claim this is where I take umbrance with how these big companies, what they believe should be taken off and put on. They claim controversy, yet they got the likes of GTA, which has had more controversy than fucking anything else that are currently on the list.
Yeah, I know it doesn't exactly make sense, and I will actually agree with that, to be honest. But what I mean, like, yeah, okay, there may be some form of like relevancy, but then there's other games as well that genuinely you wouldn't think would be any kind of relevancy at all.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just.
and it's down to the individual person. So, like, for example,
Hmm.
fucking solitaire that comes with your PC, by the way, that's automatically installed because of fucking Xbox for the app. So I've just gone uninstall because I don't need that shit on my
Well, to
PC
be fair,
taking up
Solitaire's been
space.
on PCs for years.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, the fact is, it's installed via the Game Pass.
Yeah,
When you get it, that's what I'm talking about in terms of that.
yeah,
Or like, I think it genuinely also depends as well, like the individual. So stuff like Madden, NFL 24, 25, not my type of game at
yeah.
all. Would
But
never
that's
touch it.
But that goes exactly to what I was saying though, in regards of like the Game Pass, because it will because the way things are going, it will no longer be based on an individual thing. It will be based on whatever suit thinks it's a good thing at the time.
Probably. And
Because
honestly,
that's
you're
actually
most
how.
likely right on that front. I'm not disagreeing with that. I was just trying to make like a little point. That's
Yeah,
literally it.
and it literally just proves exactly what I'm like. Why Yoshida's worried about it, why so many other people are worried about it, and why I won't pay. Like the only thing I'll actually pay for is the Nintendo online stuff, just because that allows me to actually play with people, and regular PlayStation Plus. I won't pay any higher than that. The only reason why I'd go a little bit extra for the Switch version is because A, it's actually cheaper than just a regular pass or regular PlayStation Plus, and also you also get the emulators on there.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, and also as well, another point to point out, lol, is that the difference between Xbox and PlayStation in terms of Game Pass stuff is that you can literally, you know, okay, yeah, it's because Microsoft owns fucking Xbox. We get that. We don't need to touch on that point. But the point being is the fact that you can literally play your Xbox from anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you can literally play it on your phone. It doesn't even have to be on the same fucking network or connected to the same network. You can play it from your phone, your PC, tablet, whatever. Whereas with PlayStation, you have to have a separate application, be connected to the same network as well. I'm talking about like internet, by the way.
Yeah.
Which even then, you see, I'm pretty sure everybody here that's watching at least, and I know for a fact you Chaos have noticed it yourself, like to be able to stream with that running in the background and it just lags everything out to high hell and back, or it makes the quality of the picture really fucking shit.
Yeah. And that's why like I'm not happy like on any of that front, because it's like it's bullshit. And that's literally why the whole gamers need to get used to not owning their games. Yeah, that's a shit statement, but that is currently where the whole because there's more and more.
That's where we're at currently.
Yeah, and it's currently more and more subscription services literally coming out. Oh, you want to be able to play this AAA game without paying full price? Here, do this.
Inventor's like volume up. Hey Inventor, how you doing?
Hey, bud. But yeah, no, I am worried. I don't say that they don't provide a great service. That's one thing. That's one thing I want to make clear. I do generally agree they provide a great short-term service. However, in the long run, it just then adds a monopoly.
Yeah.
And then it's basically we're hard to hear over repo. Well, you're playing repo for starters.
Do you want to know what I do when it comes to repo?
What's that?
I go into my settings, I then go into my system and then volume mixer. Well, sound and then volume mixer, and then I just toggle it down a little bit. And I can still hear everything that goes on in repo whilst hearing everyone else. But that's just me personally.
Yeah,
that is a solution. That is a solution.
Solution it is. But in
But
general,
repo, but you can still hear. It's fine. I forgot that I didn't have my camera on and went, oh, nip slip.
But yeah, no. In general, though, you can agree. Like, it's kind of concerning.
It is, considering like the price keeps hiking up as well. Like, some people are like, oh yeah, but it's only a couple of quid, and it's like, yeah, but that couple of quid makes a fucking difference to people, like especially those that like live either paycheck to paycheck, or you know they struggle with their money for whatever reason
Or
personally.
who don't have a job to live paycheck by paycheck, i.e. me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I can't afford
You
to
know.
pay that amount. Like, I can barely afford to do YouTube Premium and Discord Nitro.
Mm.
But the only reason why I do those is because it's an investment to help with stream.
Yeah.
Paying for the Game Pass on top of obviously PlayStation Plus and Nintendo Online services, I can't financially do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, like in terms of like YouTube Premium and the other thingy, like that's kind of like
That's 22 quid in total.
yeah, exactly. You know, and then obviously the Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, it's just not really doable.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of them where it's like, okay, fair enough, but not fair enough, you know? Like, for me personally, if I don't have the money for, like, say, both Premium and Discord, I'll just basically swap between the two. Like, you know, so it's an every other month thing. Does it kind of screw me over for, like, my starting soon screen? Yeah, of course it does. But at the same time, like, you know, life isn't exactly what it used to be.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to really download everything onto my PC, that's just going to take out of me a little bit more because there's going to be so much I'm going to want to download music-wise.
Yeah. But
And it's
anyway.
going to take up space.
But anyway. All in all, there's obviously concerns, obviously with subscription services. And, yeah. Moving on.
Yes, moving on. Saber, I need my mouse, baby.
Meow.
Come on. No, no.
It runs off
Don't
with
sniff the fucking... No.
it.
Don't sniff the extension lead for the fucking plug sockets. Anyway, this one actually, I'm glad Ivy is here, so the pair might want to pause on that repo for a second. Another screenshot I managed to find via Facebook within the last couple of weeks by someone called Sixty Games, I think, but they basically posted saying Zach Axe has confirmed that voice acting has started for Kingdom Hearts 4 and confirmed it on his Twitter account with a number of project mentions. The Keyblade is alive. Obviously, I only took a screenshot of the actual post and didn't actually think to go through and get the pictures of his statements and stuff like that. However, the fact is, though,
It's
because I do remember.
There's finally progress.
Yes, there is massive progress, and I know for a fact Ivy loves Kingdom Hearts.
Hello.
So, and I know you do as well. But
Don't
out of the two of you, I know it's actually genuinely the same, but you know what I mean.
I know Ivy's more of the bigger Disney nerd than me, but when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, we're both equal on that front.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we both got pissed off with how Kingdom Hearts 3 was.
Venice says, I send you video. Okay.
Yeah, he sent me it.
Okie dokie. Didn't he work? Oh.
But yeah, is it good to actually hear that there's actual progress on Kingdom Hearts 3? Kingdom Hearts 4? You damn fucking right. Hopefully, hopefully this one actually, they don't give us the Kingdom Hearts 3 treatment.
Oh, YouTube, you dirty little whore.
Hey, King.
Hey, King.
Now, why do I say the Kingdom Hearts 3 treatment? Because they decided, and me and Ivy have spoken about this several times, because instead of actually just releasing all the previous games onto Xbox before 3 came out, they decided to literally have an entire chunk of the start of the game literally telling the previous story and catching everyone up on Xbox. So literally a massive chunk at the start, literally of basically catch up. They didn't have that in there originally. We would have had much more for other stuff, but no, they decided to do that. Yeah. They literally took up so much. So instead of doing what they should have done, they gave us that.
Wait, is this why I got annoyed when I played Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah, because it was fucking
Was
recap.
I playing the recap?
The recap is at the beginning.
Oh, no wonder why I found that annoying.
Yeah, the reason why.
I hadn't played the first two.
Right, and I'm sorry for doing this. I'm not shitting on Xbox, but it's because they put out fucking Xbox. They did that. If they'd have left it till after, if they'd have put it on after the game had come out and not had the recap, except literally just had it left to the other games, would have been happy with that. If they maybe added it to like a little thing for an update later on, would have been fine with that, because then would have maybe got more of Big Hero 6, maybe would have got more of the Toy Story world. But no, we ended up with a shitload of fucking Pirates of the Caribbean, something that took way too damn long at the start and took the fucking piss for a recap for a system they were then only just adding on to it.
It's alright, he's just raging about Kingdom Hearts 4 this time, not Xbox themselves. I mean, because it is because of Xbox themselves, Saber. Saber just looked at me as if to be like, is Granddaddy Chaos okay?
Yeah.
Hate when they do recapping Kingdom Hearts games, all a chain of memories was recap.
Yeah, that's basically all it fucking was. It's like, oh, we waited so long for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I feel like we got so cucked just because they wanted to get in bed with Xbox and then get everyone together. It's like, no! They screwed us over violently. And how they ended the game, and then the DLC they added, which the DLC, by the way, was basically just the final fights in a different perspective. It's like, bruh! So many worlds literally got shortchanged so hard. Like the Frozen world, don't get me wrong, I'm not really a fan of Frozen, but the only real memorable thing of the Frozen world for me is literally Donald Duck walking a few steps like, hey, we should be fine here, and then yeet! And it wasn't just me that had that, several people had that as well. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Kingdom Hearts 3 Donald Yeet Frozen, and you'll see. Because you know when games have strong winds, where you got to like, basically time it, and if you get hit with it, you go, yo! That.
Ivy says, yeah, they were placating to Xbox. The DLC was the way the original game was supposed to end. And Kings be like, only thing I didn't like about
Kingdom Hearts 3 is there were no Final Fantasy characters.
No Final
yeah.
Fantasy characters.
Trust me,
yeah.
that pissed a lot of people off as well. You're not the only one. That pissed a lot of people off. Because that's how it was known, was Disney and Final Fantasy together. It works. But then there was some bullshit behind the scenes and why we didn't get any Final Fantasy characters. So yeah, if you play Kingdom Hearts 3, that's why I've not done another run on Kingdom Hearts 3, because that pissed me off so much when I did my original run. Nomura got mad at US fans asking for Sephiroth fight again, that he yanked all the Final Fantasy characters mid-production. That was it. Yeah.
You don't just do that. If you knew what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I wasn't, sorry, not US, us fans. Yeah. Because Disney, and because of that, no Sephiroth fight. Yeah.
That's rude.
Yeah. So that's why I'm hoping they do Kingdom Hearts 4 right. That's why I'm, at the same time, apprehensive, also hoping. They threw a cactuar in Toy Story just to make it worse. Yeah! The most annoying enemy in the entire Final Fantasy franchise, cactuars. Fuck that little shit. And it's move 1,000 needles that does 1,000 damage. And then 10,000 needles which does 10,000 damage. And if anyone's played a Final Fantasy game, you know the max health you can go is 9,999.
That's just rude.
Yeah. So, yes, good. Finally, some stuff actually happening in regards to Kingdom Hearts 4. We've been waiting for fucking years. Is it good that they're taking the time with it? Yes. Do we hope they don't placate to anyone else and we get another fucking recap? God, I hope not. I hope we don't get another recap. Yeah, as King said, the Final Fantasy characters were a major plot. Were a major point. They were literally, they had an entire world based on them, to which they were also helping out in the major battles. Hollow Bastion, aka Radiant Garden. Ah.
I think we should stop that topic and move on to the next one
Yes.
before we get too stressed.
Alright, so I have one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you and Beth might like this, technically.
Oh.
Expedition 33 devs use a Tekken 8 mod on lunch break to figure out whether Verso or Renoir is stronger,
Renoir.
attracting the attention of fighting games series boss Katsuhiro Harada.
Mm-hmm.
The true villains and heroes of Clair Obscure Expedition 33 take some time to figure out the allegiance and motivations of characters is unraveled the further into the RPG you get. One thing we all want to know, though, who would win in a fight, Verso or Renoir? Renoir, sorry. Thanks for Tekken 8 mod, the devs themselves apparently found out. Tekken 8 mod changes the appearance of Victor and Clive with Renoir and Verso, respectively, which makes this even better, is that Vic is French, and Verso and Clive are both voiced by Ben Starr.
Mm-hmm.
As spotted by Automaton, the devs of Expedition 33 at Sandfall Interactive decided to use this mod to duke it out and see which character would come out on top. Just a lunch break at work trying to settle who would win, reads the tweet showing two developers playing the game. The fight even caught the attention of some notable figures, including Tekken producer Harada.
To be fair, the fact even the fucking developers put a mod in the game just to test it out, like.
No, they didn't. No, the devs didn't put that mod in.
Okay, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
some form of the team.
Harada always actually takes note of stuff like this. He's always done that. Harada's a fucking boss like that.
Mm-hmm.
Harada's legendary in the fighting game community. He literally took on a streamer, Lily Pichu, at Evo, I think it was, and he lost. And it's fucking hilarious. He lost to her after he made an absolute cataclysmic mistake during their fight. And then afterwards he's like, I quit. Harada's hilarious, he is. He's actually he's actually on social media, usually, if anyone tweets at him, with actual like legit questions and stuff, he'll either hint at maybe something happening, or he'll answer to the best of his ability, or he'll actually take it into notice. Harada's a boss. Loads of people love him.
That's cool.
Is that a leverless controller? You're a serious fighting game player, he tweets, commenting on designer Victor Dillard's use of the specialized controller. Dillard is fighting game associate producer Vincent Constantine, whose controller remains tantalizing out of shot. That is a certified wee moment. Messimis replies the official Tekken account, referencing a silly moment shared between Verso and SQ. It adds SQ. I've not played the game, so apologies for butchering the names.
Sorry, I can't help it because I'm literally like.
Look, I've not played the game. I don't have the money to get the game. I want to play the game. Leave me alone, people. I apologise for butchering the names. I know there's lots of fans, but leave me alone.
That's why I'm helping you. It's fine. Swing.
And we all know who would win between the two of them, but the results of the match are unknown. Who do you think would have won?
I don't know.
Well, I think we all know which one Beth would want to win.
Verso. I'd want SK to win. I love SK.
It was Renoir.
Renoir.
Yeah, it's Renoir and Verso.
I know, but I'm just saying I prefer Eskia.
Alright.
I love him so much.
Alright, you got another one, Damo?
I do, actually. This one is from Vice.com, and this was posted on 27th of May of this year by Brent Coep. Probably butchered that last name, but anyway. And this is the title. Now, did I try and do research into this? Yes. Did I fail because I got distracted? Also, yes. But that's besides the point. So take this with a pinch of salt, research at your own whim. You know what to do. You know the drill. Anyway, Hideo Kojima scrapped Death Stranding 2 feature because players would create emo Norman readers. Yeah. Also, hi, Kane. Hideo Kojima revealed that he cut a groundbreaking customization feature from Death Stranding 2 because of Norman readers. According to the Metal Gear Solid creator, he was concerned that players might get too carried away with changing the appearance of the Walking Dead actor. We could have had emo Norman readers in Death Stranding 2. That's literally what it says in the article as well, by the way. In a recent interview, Kojima opened up about what players can expect to see in Death Stranding 2. However, during the conversation, he revealed that the game originally included a complex hair growth feature. The mechanic would have allowed Sam's hair and beard to grow throughout the game, and players could even stylize it. The only problem, Kojima feared that players would make Norman Reedus unrecognizable by altering his character's hair. You could read the translation of the interview from Genki here. He obviously like it linked on the article as well. Hideo Kojima says they actually made a hair growth system for Death Stranding 2, but scrapped it in the end because they are using a superstar like Norman Reedus in the game. Kojima explained that the systems would let Sam's hair and beard grow long over time, and the player could choose. Stay the fuck away from that wire, because I promise you that is the power supply. And my PC's turned on. You will go zzz. So back up. That caught your attention now. Anyway. Kojima explained that the system would let the hair and beard grow long over time, and the player could choose to cut it in the mirror if they wanted to. The system even allowed players to do Sam's hair different colors, like blonde or red, so they were worried people might get carried away. So, we totally could have had an emo or boy band version of Norman Reedus in Death Stranding 2. Come on, you know I'm right. Obviously, Kojima didn't say emo specifically, but this would have been the first thing I'd do in the game. I mean, same, to be honest.
Why am I not surprised?
Grow out that mop on Sam's head and dye it jet black or red. Unfortunately, emo Reedus is not to be, as the hair customization feature was ultimately dropped. Perhaps it was for the best. So I mean, have you seen how ridiculous Arthur Morgan can look in Red Dead 2?
Yeah.
Players neglect his hair?
Yeah.
So, you know, and obviously, like, just that, really.
So you can't get Emodus.
I cannot know, which honestly would have been a fucking teenage dream of mine. To see him with emo hair, like, honestly.
I think we need to bring an umbrella into the mix. What the fuck, Kane?
But to be fair, though, even if he did say the words emo or whatever, it wouldn't really matter anyway. We already know what he's insinuating.
Yeah.
However, he did put features into the game that if you stared at his crotch, he will punch you. Or if you stare at his, like, feet.
Actually, that's not the first game that's actually had something like that.
No, it's not.
In Nier, I think it's the most recent one. Not Automata. I think it was the most recent one they put out. If you actually stare at Kaine's crotch or try and stare at her ass too long, she'll actually kick you, and if you keep staring, she'll actually kill you.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I've seen it on Easter egg, not literal Easter egg videos, but the YouTubers specifically.
I like when games do little funny things like that.
Like Odd Header, I believe, and Captain Excellent on YouTube covered it.
Yeah.
In a couple of their videos.
I love when games do little funny things like that.
King says, did Lollipop Chainsaw have an achievement for trying to look up a skirt and getting caught? Yes.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
You'll be surprised the amount of people that actually got that literally almost immediately.
Ivy said, if you try to look at 2B's skirt, you get an achievement in the first one.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
You do. That on that one?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright. So, we actually covered this a while back. Skyrim Grandma.
Yay!
Well, after 10 years, iconic streamer Skyrim Grandma is now Oblivion Remastered Grandma.
Let's go.
So yeah, she's back. Sorry guys, you know I have to look at everything. I've never been here before. Shirley Curry has affectionately been known by the internet as Skyrim Grandma for the last decade, thanks to the hundreds of videos and streams she's uploaded, calmly exploring all of Bethesda's evergreen RPG. And she's now taken her first steps into Cyrodiil's lush hills with Oblivion Remaster. Curry put out...
How's she finding it?
hang on. Curry put out her first 2 videos in Oblivion Remastered earlier this weekend, and they're just as tranquil as the countless videos that made her an online treasure. The first is called Learning, and the second is appropriately called Still Learning.
Oh, bless.
And they're exactly what the names suggest, proving she's called Skyrim Grandma for a reason. Curry's first walkabouts outside the Imperial City sewers sees her both frustrated and enchanted by how darn different Oblivion is from its younger sibling, or older, in the remastered version's case. The different control schemes this time around had Curry exclaiming the game had ugly movement, just ugly movement, in the opening 10 minutes, before slowly warming up to it over time. Plus, there's nothing more satisfying than seeing someone really appreciate the finer details you'd sometimes stroll right past, like soft yellow flowers and landscapes you'd stop at to screenshot. Sorry guys, you know I have to look at everything. I've never been here before, she told chat after planning a trail around the Imperial City. It's just so sweet. You might remember Shirley Curry previously said she was going to retire from capturing and creating gameplay walkthroughs because it wasn't fun anymore and she was bored to death with it. Skyrim Grandma seems to have been able to put aside some time for Bethesda games regardless, as she's since more sporadically released Skyrim and now Oblivion Remastered clips.
Aww.
So yep, Skyrim Grandma's back, folks.
She is honestly such a sweetie. Like, I do actually like check in from time to time on her YouTube, you know. See, like, if she's recently uploaded, and like if I haven't got anything else to watch for the night whilst I'm trying to sleep, I will actually have her on.
Alright.
Just in the background, like, night, grandma.
Alright, Damo.
Yes. This is probably gonna make you a bit ragey, to be fair, which it
God.
kind of did with me. Anyway. This is also on IGN, by the way, so please do take with a pinch of salt. Because it is IGN, and, well, they're not exactly known for being the most,
trustworthy
truthful.
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
EA cancels Black Panther game and closes Cliffhanger Games. And this is the 3rd round of layoffs at EA this year.
3, 2, 1.
One.
Bruh!
There we go. EA is cancelling its... EA is cancelling its planned Black Panther game and shutting down developer Cliffhanger Games, IGN has learned. In an email sent to staff from EA Entertainment President Laura Miele said that these changes, alongside other recent cancellations and layoffs, are being done to, and I quote, in literal quotation marks, sharpen our focus and put our creative energy behind the most significant growth opportunities.
Ladies and gentlemen,
3, 2, 1.
bullshit.
Yo.
You smell that?
Bullshit, motherfucker.
I'll be there, the steeping pile over at EA. But then again, what's new?
I need to tail up on the tower. I don't want it.
That'd be a steeping pile of bullshit over there, folks.
In addition to closing Cliffhanger and cancelling Black Panther, EA is also laying off individuals on both its mobile and central teams. When asked for an exact number of individuals impacted, EA declined to comment. IGN understands that the total number of affected individuals in this wave is less than the roughly 300 roles cut last month across Respawn and EA's fan care teams. That's just bad. You should not have done that to the care team, just saying. We cannot confirm by how much. These decisions are hard, Mael.
Here's something that actually kind of annoys me, folks. Cliffhanger Productions, or Cliffhanger Games, has been shut down. They did the Sly Cooper series.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's going to annoy Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ivy likes Sly Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Yet again, proof of just how stupid the game industry currently is.
Oh, yeah. They affect people we've worked with, learned from, and shared real moments with. We're doing everything we can to support them, including finding opportunities within EA, where we've had success helping people land in new roles.
The Ivy's asking what's wrong with Sly Cooper now. The Cliffhanger Games, the studio that was behind it, they've been shut down by EA.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
As for the past round of layoffs, EA is endeavoring to place affected individuals in other roles across the company. The company has made use of this placement program with each round of layoffs in recent years, an effort that remains possible despite the constant team cuts, likely due to EA seemingly drastically increasing headcount on other teams at the same time. Per Game Files reporting, EA employed 800 more people as of March of this year than it did in the same time in 2024. Ivy's like, sigh. First Prince of Persia and now this?
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry, honey.
Yep.
To that end, Meow's email continues. The company is focusing on a small handful of franchises going forward. Are you ready for this, small?
Go on.
Battlefield, The Sims, Skate, and Apex Legends. Mail also reassures EA will continue to invest in its Iron Man game at Motive and the third Star Wars Jedi game. Of course, look, I'm gonna say this real quick. As much as we all know that The Sims has always been a massive cash cow for them, it's the same with Star Wars as well, because obviously since Disney took over and acquired like the Star Wars franchise pretty much,
Butchered it.
Yeah, butchered it.
It's not a fucking.
They also see Star Wars as their cash cow. Now I say that as in this is my opinion. Don't sue me. EA, it's opinion. We're allowed them. However, it's true. Look at the one game pack we got for Sims that was to do with Star Wars. Do you want to know why that happened?
Go on.
Because they were running out of time for the rights. And they only get given certain rights at certain times of the year to use.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, people probably wouldn't have that much of an issue with, the game pack Journey to Batuu if you could have children with Kylo Ren. Oh, wait, you can with the help of mods, by the way, so go have fun. You know, getting back to the article, obviously.
Yeah.
The email doesn't mention EA Sports, but this is due to Miel running EA Entertainment. While EA Sports is a separate division, IGN understands that the sports division is unaffected by these changes for now.
Surprise, fucking prize.
Way. We're getting more FIFA, guys. Oh my god, let's play a game where you get to kick a fucking football for the next 400 years.
Yeah, play a game that's completely going to be irrelevant in a year.
Yep.
That literally, you'll find thousands of copies of that have been traded in and will probably be worth about maybe £2 at a push.
Yeah. Additionally, IGN understands that the current intention is for BioWare to continue working on Mass Effect. Interesting, right? Last
know-
year, CEO.
I know there was reports of them actually working on Mass Effect.
Well, they're going to be continuing on it, so that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully they don't pull an Andromeda.
Can you get your tail? No, give me your tail and move it up there. 'Cause I don't
And what do
want
I
it
mean by
going.
pull an Andromeda? I mean claim that's going to be the next trilogy, but then only make one in the goddamn series. If you claim there's going to be a trilogy and then don't make the trilogy and just leave it at one, yeah, that ain't going to go well.
Last year, CEO Andrew Wilson announced that the company would be, in quotation marks, moving away from development of future licensed IP that we do not believe will be successful in our changing industry. End quotation.
So instead, they're going to stick with IPs that are dead and losing interest and are only trend setting. That will only last for a few months and make them only a quick buck.
Pretty much. But notably, Marvel and EA's agreement for Black Panther was part of a 3-game deal that included Iron Man and a third unannounced title.
So they've already broken that deal.
Well, IGN states that they understand this as in IGN understands this partnership will continue. This is some terrible writing, by the way. Just saying.
It's IGN. What do you expect? Why
Yeah.
do you reckon
Anyway,
Why do you reckon I only read like parts of the articles?
Well, anyway, IGN understands that this partnership will continue with Motive Studios leading future Marvel titles. But yet you're cancelling a 3... That doesn't...
Again, this isn't the first time that Black Panther's meant to have a game like set for like quite a while.
Yeah, like for several, if not a good decade or two.
Yeah, and Black Panther's getting screwed over. It's like, again, it's like,
As
bruh,
always.
it's just,
Yeah, I know. EA provided the following statement regarding a deal with Marvel to IGN, attributed to Mael, in quotation, "Our partnership with Marvel remains strong and our multi-title long-term collaboration continues." A Marvel spokesperson shared a similar statement with IGN post-publication, set in quotation marks, saying that the multi-title long-term relationship between Marvel Games and EA, a creative collaboration focused on original storytelling with various beloved Marvel characters, remains strong.
Yeah.
Development of our console and PC titles, beginning with Marvel's Iron Man, is led by Motive Studios. Little has been shown of Black Panther so far since its announcement in 2023, though we know from a job listing it was to be a single-player action-adventure open-world game. Black Panther was being developed by the newly formed, now closed Cliffhanger Games, which was formed in 2023 with some former developers of Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, and headed up by Kevin Stevens. These cuts come on the heels of multiple other rounds of layoffs and cancellations at EA over the last few years, especially in 2025. Just last month, EA laid off roughly 300 individuals, including around 100 at Respawn, whilst cancelling an in-development Titanfall game and another incubation project.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, EA restructured BioWare, moving some developers to other projects and laying off others. In 2024, there was a massive restructuring at EA that resulted in 670 workers laid off company-wide, including around 24 workers at Respawn. And in 2023, 50 jobs were cut at BioWare and an unknown number were cut at Codemasters. Meanwhile, EA implemented a mandatory return to office for all workers, a move that some employees told IGN has left many currently remote workers with concerns about what will happen to their roles long term. When asked for a comment on the exact number impacted, the reasons for these repeated cuts, or if more cuts are expected in the near future, EA referred IGN back to Miles' email. Marvel has not responded to IGN's request for comment.
So, this is why, they're basically all that in Titanfall obviously being one of the main reasons of why I am very not happy with how EA has been running things, because we were looking forward to a new Titanfall game and then we got fucking screwed. Love Titanfall. Hate how EA has been going, but again, it's EA. I'm expecting this type of bullshit from them on a constant, and yet again they just prove. It just proves yet again like bullshit.
And this is where I kind of like, I know I don't have to apologize, but I'm sorry to everyone that I am such a Sims fan that I'm not going to stop buying games for Sims.
You do what you want to do because you spend your money how you want to.
Yeah.
That's not going to change.
Like I said, I know I don't have to apologize, but it's like the way EA are going pisses me off to the point even I want to kind of like not so much boycott it, but just kind of like, you know what, you're not taking my money for a while, like sort of situation. Like they haven't for a while anyway, but it's besides the point. I've been too broke for that shit.
Yeah.
However, like I am a Sims fan, and I will continuously get the Sims games that I get because that's
It's
me.
yeah. It's a part of your. It's a part of your.
It's
deal.
my lore. It's part of my lore. Like, you know, my origin character. Okay.
Yeah. It's Damo's villain origin story. I mean, technically, if you decide to go villain, if you decide to have a villain arc, that could easily actually be part of your villain lore.
Actually, technically, yes and no. And the reason why I say that is because, like, when I was younger, with the going to the all-girl school thing, chef's kiss, hint sarcasm. Anyway, whenever somebody would bully me or just make my life a misery that day, I would then in turn create them on The Sims, like on The Sims 2, bear in mind, and kill them.
How to create a villain, folks. Anyway.
But it was my therapy.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, moving on.
Moving on from Damo's slight villainous tendencies.
What are you talking about?
Nothing at all. So, we have a bit of Sega news. Sega says it will stop the new Virtua Fighter project if it's not good enough.
Oh boy.
Now, considering Virtual Fighter has actually been one of their games for years, it's no surprising that they're actually trying to be serious. And considering the fact that it's Sega we're talking about, again, it's no surprise. Sega is bringing Virtual Fighter 5 Revo to the Switch 2 and certain other next-generation platforms in the future. But in case you missed it, it's already working on its next major entry in the series. While we don't know the specifics just yet, the team behind it does have some requirements it must meet. Speaking of Famitsu, Ryoga Gotoko studio head Masayoshi Yokoyama, apologies if I butcher the name, revealed the high standards and how if it's not good enough, the project simply could come to a halt. Here's what he had to say via translation from Event Hubs. The new entry's producer, Richiro Yamada, added to this, reiterating now, if the studio head decides development is stopping, it really does stop. The team also aspires to make something that apparently hasn't been made before. Uh-oh.
Oh?
Whenever someone says, oh, we're going to do something that hasn't been done before.
Yeah, no, it's been done before.
Yeah. Or it won't work.
Yeah.
Because there's the thing, especially when it comes to making stuff, it's like something that hasn't been made before. It's like, that's kind of a big, I get obviously there's high standards to meet in regards of this, but by claiming gonna do something that has not been done before, that's putting a big target on you. And that's gonna cause a lot of issues. Just make sure you're not writing a check that your ass can't catch. It's not just because of creating games from games. Once again, no platforms or release date have been announced for the new Virtua Fighter game. In the immediate future, Nintendo fans can look forward to the fifth entry, which will include rollback netcode and crossplay functionality with other platforms. Now, I'm going to say this, folks, as a fan of fighting games, as a player of fighting games, and a consumer, I'm going to say this. If you're not including netcoding in your fucking game when you got online multiplayer, What the fuck is wrong with you? It's been proven, literally, that it is a necessity. Evo and fighting game events have continued to grow constantly. How do we actually make sure that the best are actually at their best? By making sure that the shit doesn't break. By making sure the people that fight online actually can fight online and not be lagging left, right and centre. No truer has that statement ever been than for PlayStation 4's BlazBlue Central Fiction. If we'd have had the whole netcoding thing, then our fights with Tenchi would have been even more interesting.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Alright. You got something next, Damo?
I do actually. This one's from PC Gamer.
Alright.
That's it. Pre-order cancelled. GTA 6 investigators have managed to find the one slip up in the second trailer, and it's pretty illuminating. GTA 6 second trailer surprised us just as much as its first. No, it didn't. But now the initial shocks warn. Fans are combing through the impressive 3-minute trailer and really putting it under a microscope to see if there's anything out of sorts. And they've actually found something. Light appears before gunshot. Cat _with_banana 96. That's a username.
Right.
Don't know if somebody's already noticed it, but wanted to mention it. This is then followed by 3 screenshots depicting Jason shooting a handgun out of a car, with the slip up coming from a light shining on Jason's face before the flash of a gunshot. The scene is only 1 second long, but apparently it's enough to make a mark. I guess it'll seem longer if you're watching everything at 0.25 playback speed whilst admiring the bubbly beers. Now that players have found a chink in Rockstar's armor, they are taking full advantage of it. The replies are full of players saying things like, "That's it, pre-order cancelled, literally unplayable, and I can't believe this garbage." I love the gaming community sometimes for their sarcasm. Obviously, and that's a me comment, not from the thing, bud.
Oh, I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Again, this one,
Obviously-
I love the gaming community because sometimes, like, literally jokes on that will just be fucking made, even for the most ridiculous of
Honestly.
things.
Obviously, these are all just jokey comments that poke fun at a mistake in what is a very detailed and precise trailer. But given how many times Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick has said that Rockstar's goal is to reach perfection, I think a couple of nudges and jokes are okay. But I think we can forgive them for this, considering how good the rest of the trailer is.
I don't think you need to read that bit out.
It's like, so they could wait another 6 months, honestly, after watching that trailer.
I've not even watched the trailer because I have no fucking interest.
I like GTA, but like...
I had my stint on there on GTA 5 Online back on PlayStation 4. I'm good.
I mean, that's fair, but like... Did they need to make a remaster version constantly, like every other year? No, they didn't. I do like some of the story behind the GTA games, though.
Demo. It's literally remaster culture. Look at the amount of times that Last of Us have received remasters.
I know, that's why I turned around and said, like, does there really need to be? No. No, it does not.
Is there probably going to be one? Wouldn't be surprised.
More than likely. Gonna get it in a bundle deal next, watch. But this one also kind of relates to GTA 6, which is my last one, if I has permission to talk about
I've got
it
one,
before.
last one, before you do yours.
Okay.
Yep. So, as many people are aware, obviously, with the pandemic that took place, obviously, as well as scalpers that took place over the course of it, the Xbox Series and PlayStation 5 didn't exactly take off rather well, and especially with the lack of first-party games on both systems. Because most of the time, it was literally, at the time when they first came out, the only games that were actually really available for them were games that were on the previous generations. So, it kind of like... So the launch of the PS5 and Xbox Series X/S was rather underwhelming, all things considered. But considering the situation at the time with the world, it's to be expected. However, you'd have thought, now that things are starting to pick back up, that obviously now that things are starting to actually rock and roll, that the talk of the next gen of PlayStation and Xbox would be a few years yet before we see anything. Well, apparently, this is based on some leaks, so do take this with a pinch of salt, folks. The reason why I'm reporting on this is because I think it's funny. PS6 release window surfaces online and uh-oh, it's soon. This is coming from Gaming Bible. The PlayStation 6 is a hell of a lot closer than we all collectively assumed based on recent leaked information regarding a cancelled game from a developer close to Sony. Considering there was only about 7 years between the release of the PS4 and the PS5, it could be argued that a successor to the PS5 wouldn't be too ridiculous in a couple of years' time. But I don't think I'm the only one who feels like the current generation of consoles still feels young. Maybe it was COVID, maybe it's the underwhelming library of first-party games, but either way, it just feels like seeing a new Xbox or PlayStation in 2027 just seems too soon. Well, it sucks for me because it seems like the release date of the PS6 just got leaked, and it seems to be dropping at some point in 2027. The info comes by the way of Insider Gaming's Mike Straw and their report on the cancelled Blade Runner game from developer Supermassive Games. Takes a pinch of pepper. Fuck's sake, Vena. Although Insider Gaming wasn't allowed to directly share the document the leak stems from, Straw notes that the full release from Supermassive Games' Blade Runner Time to Live was planned for September 2027 on PS5, Xbox Series, PC, and the Gen 10 Xbox and PlayStation systems. Now I know what you're thinking. What if Supermassive Games is just guessing that there will be a Gen 10 PS6 in 2027? That's unlikely considering the Supermassive Games parent company, Nordisk, is actually a partner of PlayStation. That's why a lot of folks are taking this leak seriously, because they're under the assumption that Nordisk knows something we don't. I doubt it. They are a partner. Any information like that would have actually already been shared, and this may, the 2 years till the next one, I doubt. We may have heard something a little bit more before now. So, is there a chance of, obviously, in my opinion, a chance of new consoles in a couple of years' time? I can't say. Honestly, with how this year's gone, I would say any more news in regards to that probably won't happen. Any legitimate news will probably happen next year. Because that would be then, if it's claiming for a 2027 release, like with the Switch 2, they'll actually start revealing stuff eventually. A leak technically doesn't really mean anything. It could literally just be someone grasping at straws. And wouldn't have been the first time that a developer advertised a game that didn't work for a system that wasn't even out or planned yet. Wouldn't have been the first time. So, is this true? We don't know. Take this with a pinch of salt, or pepper as Inventor's taken. I do recommend. If you fancy looking into this yourself, guys, I do recommend just looking in and see what you can find. I had a little bit of a look, and no one really else was saying anything about it. I just think it's funny. Like, it does still feel a bit too early for a PS6. But what do I know? I'm just a simple gamer.
I know, right? Oh, so simple we are, yes.
And we're so simple and we're so innocent.
I know, right? And now for the final article of all articles of this evening.
Yeah!
This is on gamesradar.com. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 publisher says GTA 6 and Rockstar Games can make ballooning AAA budgets and team sizes work, but there's been, and I quote, "There's been a lot of irresponsible practices in the industry from others who can't." Which is actually quite interesting, actually. The publisher behind Expedition 33 says the likes of GTA 6 maker Rockstar can weather the ballooning AAA budgets and team sizes we're seeing across the industry, but most can't, and quotation marks, "There is a human cost to running things that way."
Yep.
Speaking to gamingindustry.biz, Stanford COO and Expedition 33 producer Francois Mesureux says the studio will resist the urge to scale up dramatically in the face of success to churn out its next games quicker. Instead of looking to keep the core team together and retain the chemistry built making their breakout hit, quotation, "we want to keep the organization that made us successful," he says. It's the sort of sentiment that publisher Kelper backs, with portfolio director Matthew Handaran adding, "I think keeping a core team to hold the vision and to build out what the game is, and then expanding as you need to through things like outsourcing is a very smart and sustainable way to manage game development."
Mm-hmm.
While 32 people have worked on Expedition 33 over at Stanford, the studio benefited from outsourcing when it needed to move things along at a brisker pace. It's a win-win, as not only does it allow the studio to retain that core group, but also avoid the risk of upscaling dramatically to match modern AAA ambition. "I think there's been a lot of irresponsible practices in the industry," Hadaran says, regarding growing AAA budgets and team sizes. "Some games can make it work. GTA 6 is going to make it work. I think we can all say that with somewhat great... I say somewhat is my own word into this, by the way. Great confidence, but there are plenty of games made with very large teams and for huge amounts of money that don't land. And there is a human cost to running things that way. People lose their jobs. God knows how many layoffs there have been in the industry over the last few years."
Oh,
It's a
tell us
sentiment
about
we're
it.
seeing increasingly elsewhere. Former PlayStation boss Sean Layden has called for the return of AA games on several occasions, as a few developers we've spoken to, given the success of Claire Obscure Expedition 33 and increasing challenges facing the industry, we can only imagine those calls getting louder.
Yeah. Agreed. Because it's always about AAA this, AAA that, AAA this, AAA that. What about everything else that's not AAA?
Yeah.
Why are games like Helldivers, why did they do so well? Why is Expedition 33 done so well? Why is Baldur's Gate 3 done so well? Proof that throwing money at everything does not work.
I mean, like, fucking hell, like, someone's actually... And I've been seeing a lot of the footage specifically on TikTok, but they do also have a YouTube channel, and I can't remember what it is currently. But there's this person that I've seen come up on my For You page quite a lot in terms of, you know, the game that got cancelled in terms of, like, Alice, American McGee's Alice, Madness Returns, the one after that one. That IP got cancelled. EA won't let the original creator buy back the IP, which is fucking ridiculous. So anyway, getting to the main point, this person on TikTok has been uploading footage of them making the game themselves. One person. I am kind of with a lot of the comments, though. They do need to be careful, especially with phrasing and calling it for what it is, in case EA comes up and goes, "You either give that to us, or we're suing."
I wouldn't be
or
surprised.
They might just go ahead and sue.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a outright sue.
Mm.
That, to be honest, that's a dangerous path they're walking, and they need to be careful.
Yeah, because they've got, like, the face model and everything, like...
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's perfect looking. I'm not even going to, like...
Yeah, again,
to be honest.
Again, it's dangerous territory.
Very dangerous. And what I'm about to say goes out to, like, genuinely, like, as an entire consensus to everyone. If you do want to pick up a very old IP and you know for a fact that the not so much development company, but the bigger side of the development company, like, get a grasp on that, please keep yourselves safe.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, just like that one person is doing with their own rendition of the game that was meant to come out, fucking EA. I hope that they are able to do it in a safe way, or at least change the way that the characters look, the names, and the name of the game, like change it ever so slightly.
Yeah.
And just say fan made and don't think about selling it.
Yeah. But even
Because
then, though,
technically
that's
not your IP to develop.
even then, that's kind of a risk.
It's really fucking risky, but you know what? Somebody had to fucking do it.
Yeah. And again, this is why we take umbrage with these big companies. Monopolization.
Yeah. Like, I hate the fact, the way, you know, like I was saying earlier, right? How EA are with things.
Yeah.
Compare Sims 2 to Sims 4. You had a lot more in their expansion packs and stuff packs, actually, in Sims 2 than what you ever did in Sims 4. We getting in the new expansion pack, I believe it is, that's going to be coming out. Apparently, we're getting stuff to do with mythical creatures, aka fairies. Guess what? We have a game pack for vampires, werewolves. And yet now we're going to be getting everything separate. Do you want to know something hilarious, though?
Go on, then.
If I remember correctly, werewolves came out with the Sims 3 Supernatural pack. Sims 2 Downtown, I believe it was. No, sorry, Nightlife. Yeah, Nightlife. Sims 2 Nightlife came with both werewolves and vampires, I believe. So yeah, I understand on the monopolization kind of thing. It's why I've always made the statement and / joke of cash cow.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. Is that it?
That is literally it. Yeah, sorry.
All right. Well, with that being said, though, folks, that is actually it.
It is today, yeah.
So let me just take a sec to actually say every bit, as we do obviously all the time, every bit of information that we find is literally based and we report on is based on what we have found. So if you want to actually look into it yourself because you don't believe us, then by all means, please look into it. Be informed. Don't just attack us. Look into what we've seen. Look into what we found. A quick Google search, you'll find quite a few things.
Yes.
Please do take the time to actually look into everything and actually be informed. It's better to stay safe and informed than unsafe and stupid. There's plenty of people already around throwing false accusations in regards to stuff. We don't want to do that. We want to report on what we can that we believe happens to be of some level of truth. So,
yep.
With that being said, though, folks, that's actually going to be it for this episode of the Thin Crust Flopcast. Damo, where can people find you?
You can find me over at twitch.tv/itsdemoo TV on TikTok, as well as Blueski, It's the Moon.
Hey. And as always, thank you for joining, Damo.
Anytime, thank you for having me.
Thank you to everyone that's actually been watching in chat, and everyone that actually watches this over on YouTube. Hi, YouTube! Please don't sue me.
Hey.
And the next episode of the Flopcast will be on the 16th. Yep, that's right, the 16th. The day after the Switch 2 comes out.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what we find over the next couple of weeks. Dragon
fans.
That's what, a site for scalies?
Yeah, probably.
Don't look it up.
Yeah, don't.
But yeah, we will see you all in the next one. So make sure you have all your personal belongings with you because we are going to be shutting our doors now for this episode. I will see you guys tomorrow for Koromon. And with that
and
being...
you guys, I was going to say, you guys, if you wanted to like hop in, not that you have to, just genuinely saying, like, do not ever feel forced to. But if you want to see some Baldur's Gate 3 action tomorrow with me and Inventor, Or even just watch both, or just watch Chaos. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We're all here to have fun, and that's the main point.
Yeah.
But now it's time for Chaos's kick-ass outro, as always. So
That everyone loves to join in on.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said though, folks, make sure you have all your personal belongings with you. Anything that gets left behind will be used to help fight off the Scandinavian invasion. And by that I mean Don and Inventor. And with that being said, raise your pizzas high and say it with me. Stay chaotic
Thank you.
and live for the challenge.
This is a challenge. Wow.
Jesus fucking Christ.
you've missed
Bonk
me
you.
doing that, shut up. You've missed me doing that.
Bye.
Bye.
Leave my goblin janners alone, you prick.